Hey people, what's going on? So I've got my camera there on Facebook and YouTube. So I am on my profile, my page, my Facebook, and my YouTube and Instagram. All right, welcome everybody. What are we talking about today? This is the big surprise. So I am on YouTube as well. Just in case it begins to buffer, Instagram and their wahala. You can jump over to YouTube, The Brook Place, YouTube, Apostle Oscar, Facebook, Oscar Guobadia, Facebook, Dr. Oscar Guobadia. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? So my camera is all the way there and all the way here. But I like the design on Facebook as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, people? What is going on? What is hotter than summer in the United Kingdom? Flames! I'm going to ask the question one more time. What is hotter than summer in the United Kingdom? Flames. All right, so let's do this. Let me know where you are joining in from today. If you are on Facebook, you are on YouTube, let me know where you are joining in from today, and I'll say hello to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's such a great joy to be with you this wonderful Saturday. What a great joy. Now I know that YouTube is very fast, Facebook is lagging, Instagram is lagging. But what is hotter? I'm going to be very serious now. Dun-dun-dun-dun. What is hotter than summer in the United Kingdom? It is flames. All right, the reason why I'm here today, I want to share with you something we've never done before. And we believe that this will bless a lot of you, especially for those of you with friends and families that want to be part of Flames 2023. All right. So if you are on YouTube, you are on Facebook, you are on Instagram. Listen, I cannot do two lives, so I'm doing everything on one go. So I've got good news for you today. Hey, Kelton, how are you doing? Listen, we'll talk about convocation later. This is Flames now. But a couple of years ago, the Lord gave us a vision to literally have a once a year annual conference, which is Flames, to gather people around the world and just impart them and just activate them. This has been going on for the last couple of years, and we've been privileged to have an amazing turnout, privileged to have great men and women in the nation and nations of the world join us. We have people from all parts of the continent join us. Asia, America, Europe, Africa, different part of the world. And today we want to bring to you something that we have never done before. But I believe this one will bless you because this one has never been done. We want to try you. We want to try it out. But see what we want to do. We want to do something. Are you ready for this? I'm already like, oh. We want to do something that we believe will benefit yourself, your families, every member of your team. We want you guys to be here. All right. You're going to be the one of the 2,000. We are pushing for 2,000 people, but we want you to be the one of them. And of course, your family, one of the 2,000. But I promise you, Flames 2023 will be bananas. You have never seen anything like this before. For a lot of you that know about conferences, it's so expensive to put together. The monies, the strategies, everything is expensive. But what we've decided to do today is to bring to your attention something that we believe that will benefit everyone around you. Because we believe that this is actually a mandate for us as a church in the United Kingdom to be a blessing to many. All right, this is the big announcement. Are you ready? I promise you, I'm not going to take your time. But before I tell you the big thing, I want to read for you what we have on the day. You've already seen the itinerary on the day. I want to read what we have. Now, Flames is going to be 2 days as usual. But this time, it will be different. The contents are different. The strategies are different. The venue is different. The team, everything is different. And so, we're going to be starting Flames 2023 as early as 8 a.m. in the morning. Oh, no. We're not starting with warfare. No, we're starting with a family. We are starting 8 a.m. in the morning to have what you call, we're going to be having Wisdom Cafe. This means that there is a particular type of ticket that affords you to have breakfast with us in the morning. I don't know about you. Now I'm already blown away. I mean, we're not talking about this now. We're talking about posh, bougie, posh breakfast. I mean, 8 a.m. in the morning. You're gonna be there with us. We're gonna have breakfast in the morning with Wisdom Cafe. Wisdom Cafe means that someone who we're going to leave discreet will come to the space and they will give us their wisdom for ministry, wisdom in their Christian journey. You've had experience for years, so you're going to have your Q&A. Your first Q&A is going to be here. So Wisdom Cafe will be happening 8 a.m. in the morning with your nice breakfast. All right, just to get you ready for the day. So we're going to have Wisdom Cafe. But we have amazing teaching sessions. Listen, it's not just full English breakfast, it is full breakfast. If you are African, you are Caribbean, you are Caucasian, you are Hispanic, you are Chinese, listen, there is something for you. There is something on the day for you. You're gonna listen, just come ready. Come ready. All right, so I'm going to explain more to you. There will be Wisdom Cafe. All right, thank you guys. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm not done. Then we'll be dealing extensively on spiritual warfare, the whole ministry of intercession. Listen, I've done extensive teachings on the watchman, the gatekeepers, which I call the weak. The watchman and the gatekeepers form the intercessor. So the intercessor falls into the watchman and the gatekeeper. I will give you the principles. Listen, the theology of the watch. What it means. When people say this is the third watch, what is the third watch? What is the fourth watch? How do you navigate that space of prayer? What is intercession really? I'll give you on the types of intercession, the model of the biblical apostolic model of intercession. What is the ministry of the watchman? Who is the watchman? How do they sound the alarm? Is the alarm the shofar or a trumpet? The ministry of sound, because there is no intercession without sound. All right, that word in the Greek, entohano, the word entohano, and as a preposition, entohano means to accompany. We're going to teach you the principles of intercession. It will be mind blowing. All right, so we're talking about spiritual warfare. How do you posture to war? And how do you posture for war? When the Bible speaks about the whole armor of God used to war, you need to understand that what constitutes those the armor, that the helmet. Is it a brazen helmet? Is it a gold helmet? Is it a silver helmet? What does that mean? What does silver represent? Is it the blood really? Is it scarlet? Things like this. I mean, it will be deep. All right, but we want to share with you our years and years of theological research and wisdom. All right, so we'll be having our SOAP, School of the Apostles and the Prophet. Now, I will be taking you on this one. All right, this is my forte. All right, so for those of you asking about the apostolic ministries, I breathe in streams, and am I in the office? Am I gifted? The ministry of the ministry of the prophetic. What is the spirit of prophecy? What is the gift of prophecy? The office of a prophet. We're going to navigate what we call rhetorical devices. All right. Rhetorical devices, how do we use this part of speech to identify where we belong in this sphere or spectrum of the prophetic apostolic ministry? I'll be teaching you on what you call the timeline of apostolicity, the timeline of historicity, and what antiquity really is. I will go as far back as explaining to you what you call the canon of truth. How do we design the apostolic model? What is the apostolic creed? What do we mean by the apostolic church, really? I will spend the time to look at the scriptures from 33 AD to as far back as 1517, the time of the Reformation. And if the time allows me also, I will also go as far back as, looking into what you call the global expansion, the current church, okay? And one of the things I want to do also is to talk about the charismatic context, the charismatic, church in the Caucasian and people of color context. The whole idea of ethnic values in SOAP, so the School of the Apostles. What is the apostles? What do they mean really? I'm going to navigate from the Old Testament, how to find apostolic work, from the Old Testament into the New Testament, and also the prophetic word as well. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to go into the roots of prophetism, what this really means. It will literally be a school. So that is SOAP. We also will be having what you call Hermeneutics and homiletics. Again, this is one thing I will be taking you. For those of you that have been in my school, I've done loads of teaching on exegesis, hermeneutics, exposition, homiletics, hermeneutics. But these two are very important. Homiletics speaks of your preaching style or teaching style, the different styles of preaching and types of preaching and teaching. But also hermeneutics to give you the distinction between the word hermeneu and the word hermeneutics and exegesis. So I'll be spending time to help you navigate how do you study the Bible. All right. So you need to study the Bible from different types of context. You study the Bible from the author's context, the manuscript context, and also the reader's context. I will spend time to teach you what you call the historical grammatical method. I will spend time to teach you the literal method. I will spend time to teach you what you call grammatical and lexical context. How to use syntaxes and semantic ranges, parsing some phrasing, and also theological and discursive context as well. We'll look at things like the summation, the significance, the scope, the structure, the sphere. All of these things are what I'll be spending the time to teach you on hermeneutics, how to properly exegete the Bible. Looking at a bit of patristic theology. How did the fathers of faith in the early days, how did they exegete the text of scripture? I'll be spending the time to go through the timeline of biblical exposition. There were two types of the schools of thought. We have the Antiochian school of thought and the Alexandria School of Thought. So I'm going to be spending time with you to give you the types of contextual values for hermeneutics, whether it's literal, whether it is moral, whether it's analogical or allegorical. I'll be spending the time to explain to you how fathers like Origen, Justin, and even as far back as Augustine, how they interpreted the text of Scripture. We'll look at the allegorization of the text of Scripture and when did the allegorization come into play? Was it in the time of the Alexandrian period? I will take you through a timeline on how to study the Bible. And also, Peter writes that no scriptures of private interpretation. I'll teach you what you call epistemology, which is the study of knowledge. Types of epistemology, things like moral epistemology, things like empirical epistemology, things like revelational epistemology, things like logical epistemology, things like historical epistemology. All these are things that I'm going to teach you on how this canon, what is the whole idea of the canon, the apocrypha, do we read it, do we not read it, is it for academic purpose, what is the purpose of trying to understand words. I'm going to teach you how to navigate the text of scripture as an actor, looking at things like verbs, types of verb, cases, types of cases, numbers, types of numbers, genders in Greek. What is gender? Is that the first place masculine, second place feminine, second place masculine? You look at the plurality of context, you look at things like double referencings and double mentions and things like types of case like is it nominative, is it causative, is it accusative, is it vocative, is it dative, is it genitive cases? All these are things I'll be looking at. And one of the things I say to people a lot of times is this: rhetorical devices is one of the things that the Christian believer needs to understand in order to clearly exposit the scripture. I will spend the time to explain to you the difference between exposition and exegesis, the difference between hermeneutics and exegesis, the difference between didactic study or inductive and deductive kind of study. All these are things that you'll be hearing from me on the day. So it will be bananas, and that's not all. And to crown the all hermeneutics and exegesis, I'm going to teach you what you call prophetism or exegetical value of prophetism. And no one has heard of this before. It is a research that I'm working on. So come into my work. How to look at the text from a place of contextual prophetism and apostolic, and biblical apostolicity. What that means that how did the early apostles view this in the context of the culture in the first century? So you and I might do a bit of work in the first century tradition, first century religion, first century politics, first century government, not trying to be liberal in our thought, but trying to understand the minds in those days and bring a bit of history to you. But this will be bananas. I just cannot wait. All right. Another school is prophetic ministry. Listen, I think one of the most bastardized teachings we find today in the current charismatic climate is an theological, eisegetical kinds of teaching on prophetism. And I think for me personally, I want to raise a generation of people that have a biblical model or not just have to prophesy, biblical modern to submit prophecy. And we all study the whole idea of the diacrisis, the presbytery. How do we put a presbytery together? What constitutes a presbytery? The types of prophetic expression, types of prophetic persona. How do we navigate prophetism in the ANE, the Asian Near East? We look at the Akkadian model, we look at the Arabic model, we look at the Hebraic model. The whole idea of the word Nabi. We need to break the word Nabi from its verbal root derivative, going as far back as the participle to the verb and then to the noun. What makes a Nabi a Nabi? We need to look at the change of words. We look at phonetics. We look at the closeness of what called semantic ranges. Why is it called a Nabi from an Akkadian context and not a Judaic context? We look at that in scripture also. How names will change over time. The word Roe became the word Jose over time. Why did the word change? What happened? Because it was a generation of people who did not understand the basic foundational principles of the whole idea of the Nabi. So the word Nabi became an adjective that became a verb that became a noun. So when we use the word Nabi, we need to find the historicity behind the name Nabi in order to get the contextual value from scripture. Because when you read the Greek text, you realize that for a lot of us, we read the Bible in the Greek and we're wondering, but why does it sound like Roe here and sound like Jose somewhere else? The reason why, because there's a thing called etymology, the change of words over time. And when words change over time, they lose what you call contextual value. So we have to look at the value of the text of scripture from its original intention to our present translation. And just to add also to those of you that want to learn a bit of, I'll give you a crasher course on Greek and Hebrew, just a bit of language and transliterations, not translations, transliterations. I'll spend time to talk about your type of Bible, the word for word, the thought for thought, the paraphrase, what you call the formal equivalent and the dynamic equivalent. What type of Bible I would recommend for you to use for study, for personal study, for group study, and all of these things. So we'll be talking about the prophetic ministries. And finally, on the day of the fourth teaching, will be on revelation gift. And when I mean revelation gift, I'm talking about 3 of the 9 mentioned in 1 Corinthians 12, which is the gift of the word of knowledge, the word of wisdom, and the discerning of spirits. So these are 3 revelation gifts. If you have any prophetic technology, whether you're a dreamer, whether you're a seer, whether you are gifted in trance, in visions, if the Lord will crack the heavens and show you deep mysteries, you are, the Lord shows you angelic, ministry. That, I mean, if you are gifted in the sight ministry, now you need to be in the revelation gift. Why? Because one of the things we're going to do is to spend time to crack the code. If there is one to crack, to make you understand what happens in beyond the constellation. I realize that one of the reasons why a lot of us dabble into divination, because we practice the, this kind of supernatural activities in the constellation realm. But I want to teach you on how to go beyond the constellation and see through the lens of God. So you have to be very careful, especially now. Word of knowledge and word of wisdom, especially the discerning of spirit. Listen, it is called the discerning of spirit. How do you discern? Not just tokimazu, which is the test, but the akrisis, which is the discern. We're going to teach you on the fundamental principles of discernment. How do you discern spirits? How do you know what kind of spirit is at work? So these and more are the schools we'll be having on the day. But guess what? As usual, guess what we're going to do as well? Now, we know that this will happen within 2 days. But as usual, what we've decided to do, for those of you that will buy the gold ticket, you have another session, plural, with me after Flames. Ladies and gentlemen, now this is the part that you want to hear. Why are we making this announcement today? Now, you may not be on Facebook, you may not be on Instagram to see the graphics, but it's okay. You are here. I'm going to say it. The reason why we are doing this, we have selected a handful of people. Not everybody, it's not a lot. We've not selected. We've opened a ticket, the normal ticket. We've opened all the tickets for a set of people. You'll find it soon. But guess what we're doing? Just a handful of people, just a few tickets. So if you don't get your ticket between 48 hours, it will go back to the original price. So guess what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen? We have just slashed Flames ticket to half price for 48 hours. Let me say it again. In case you're not aware, I'm going to put it now on my, there we go. It is there. It's on Facebook. It's on YouTube. If you did not hear me again. We have just slashed the price. And mind you, this price is even cheaper than last year. The full price now is cheaper than last year, and we have just slashed it half price. I mean, Lord, I don't know what entered me that day. I do not know why I say that day. But for your sake, we have, hear me again, for your sake, within 48 hours starting from today, calm down, no rush. It's not open yet. We'll let you know when it's open. All right. We have just slashed Flames to half price. Mind you, the full price this year is cheaper than the full price last year. And even with the full price, we have just slashed 50% off. Let me give you the trick. It is not the 2,000 ticket. It may not be up to 100 tickets. I don't know how many the guys. I do not know how many the guys have decided to put out there for half price. It's possible that before 48 hours the ticket would have been finished. I do not know. It's possible. It might be 20. It might be 30. It might be 100. It might be 1,000. I do not know. But the reason why, because we want you to come with your friends and family so that you can buy for them. It's after price. Instead of paying £200 or £300 or £100 to get one person, you're probably going to use that same money to get 5 people. So the reason why is because we want you and your family to be in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, hear me. I don't know if it will last 48 hours. Now, the thing that we've done right now, we've made it open for 48 hours. But if you get more people, basically it's a first come, first serve thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the discount code, if you are on Instagram, if you're on Facebook already, you've seen it already on YouTube. If you're on Instagram, it is called Flames Flash 23. Flames Flash 23. All right. And the link is www.flames2023.eventbrite.com. www.flames2023.eventbrite.com. If you haven't now, remember, it is for 48 hours only. It starts today and ends on Monday, 4 p.m. I've taken 20 minutes of your time. So you have just 48 hours to get all these done. Remember, all this with food. There are different types of ticket with food. Now, the food part and the nice part, the nice cafe stuff and the Wisdom Cafe is for the gold class. And the gold is even half. All the tickets are caught in half. All of them half price. Listen, half price. How are we going to make this money back? God help us. But we're saying to let you know that we've made Flames ticket open to you and your family. All the tickets are slashed 50%. As the leader of the church, I told the team, Apostle, we're not going to make money. Just make it 50% for the people. It's the first come, first serve. I don't know how many tickets they release. They might release 20. They might release 30. They might release 100. I do not know. But if you can get as much as you can get for your people, get for your friends and your families. We need them to be one of the 2,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end. I'm going to say this as I end. Guitar is shaking. I'm going to end and say this. One of the things you need to realize is that we have never done this before. What did I say? We have never done this before. All this teaching, Wisdom Cafe, spiritual warfare, School of the Apostles and Prophets. We're having biblical study of homiletics, hermeneutics, spending time on revelation gifts and prophet. I mean, all these teachings for half price. And not just that, plus an after Flames glow. There's going to be an after Flames class. Basically, after this full class, I'm spending extra 2 days with you. Extensive 2 days to go through all these things again. So there's going to be a school after Flames. Are you hearing me? There's going to be a school after Flames for those who buy the gold tickets. So after buying this ticket, guess what I'm going to do with you? I will spend 2 days or 3 days or whatever, or 2 times, long days, to go through all this thing again. Just imagine spending free of charge. Imagine teaching it free of charge. Extensively on spiritual warfare. Extensively on the ministry of deliverance, extensively on SOAP, the School of the Apostles and the Prophets, from beginners to intermediate to advanced, extensively on homiletics, hermeneutics, extensively on revelation gift, and extensively on prophetic ministry after the Flames event. Ladies and gentlemen, your time is ticking now. I don't know about you. You can hear me in the eyes. I don't know about you. Go and get your tickets now. What did I say? Go and get your tickets now. Go and get your tickets now. Are you hearing me, church? Go get it now. Go get your tickets now. Wherever you are, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, go get your tickets now. Like I mentioned, I was frozen for a while, but my voice was going on. All right, so that is the promo code Flames Flash 23. Flames Flash 23. The link is www.flames2023.eventbrite.com. Don't say we did not tell you. Remember, this will only last for 48 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, go grab your ticket and let them know that we are ready to roll. Send this video to a friend and tell them that Flames is half the price. I don't know what the food price is right now. Like I mentioned before, it is cheaper than last year. So a lot of you might end up paying 30 pounds, 20 pounds. Oh, no, God help. Why did I do this? Help me. You end up paying like 40, 50 pounds, 60 pounds for all these things. These things are valued to be over 700 pounds. These teachings alone, I mean, those of you that come to my school, you know already. These teachings are valued to over 700 pounds. And you might be paying like 40 pounds. You did not hear me. These teachings are valued for about 700 pounds. And you might end up paying like 50, 60 pounds. How are we going to make money from this, really? I'm not thought about it. And I'm even giving you extra after the event. Let me pin Adisha's comment there. That is the code. Right. That is the code. Flames Flash 23. This is solid content valid for over 700 pounds. These are contents that I teach my own PMP students. And you're getting it for half price. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but guess what? Once it passes 48 hours, you might end up paying over 100 pounds. So you might be getting less than that now. Just imagine you missing out this thing. All right, I'm going to leave it now. So just wanted to let you know that it is officially open. Go and get your tickets. Remember, Flames Flash 23. Go get your ticket now, and I'll see you. God bless you. Let us know if this is a blessing to you. Tell your friends, tell your church, come with your church members. Tell them, remember there are types of ticket there. You can get the gold, you might get the silver. There are types of ticket that go for what you can afford. You might see some for 20, you might see some for 30, you might see some for 50, you might see some for 60. So the more the perks, the more the money. All right, but we believe that everything has been slashed to half the price. So if you wanted the Wisdom Cafe, the breakfast in the morning, and all these teachings, the first preaching and the second preaching, you need to be in the building. Or you just want to come in the evening only. You won't get all these things. But ladies and gentlemen, go grab the ticket and be in the building. Amazing speakers as usual. Amazing speaker. You have my Apostle Ryan Lestrange coming. It's a staple in the house already. My brother Apostle Charlie Howell coming. The one and only Bishop Kevin Wallace. Love the man of God. Love him, love him, love him. And yours, Dr. Oscar Guobadia. I will come with all the title, the heart, the doctor and the prophet and the apostle and the teacher and the pastor and the evangelist. Until then, stay strong, stay safe. This video will be saved for as long as it will be saved. Let the guys know it is only for 48 hours. Once it is 4:01 on Monday, the link becomes invalid. It will not work again. Go and get the ticket today. What did I say? Go. Where I come from, our mothers would draw their ears like, don't say I did not tell you. Which means that once it's gone, it is GONE. Are you hearing me, church? I'm trying so hard to market this thing, and it's not working for a lot of you. But go and get your ticket. If you are on Facebook, you are on Instagram, it is flames2023.eventbrite.com. Flames2023.eventbrite.com. The code is Flames Flash 23. Flames Flash 23. All right. God bless you. Until then, stay strong, stay safe, and peace. Yo, peace. Yo, peace.